some work on script kit. Hang out and ask some cues. All right, that looks good. So the script I want to work on today has to do with adding this directory, this bin directory where the script wrappers are made, adding that to your path. And I used to do that automatically, but now I prefer to prompt the user or let the user do that rather than doing it automatically. So it's something that they like confirm. But what I need to do is figure out, like, there's various shells. There's Z shell, there's fish shell, there's just bash shell and all that. And so I want to write a script that can help people automatically do that. I know a lot of people aren't comfortable adding things to their path. Let me switch over to main. And so I want to try and write a script to do that. So that would live in the CLI, but I'm going to, for now, kind of make it through. Let's see. I'm going to open up the dev version of the app too, because when I'm on main, sometimes it doesn't sync up when I have the live version of the app. So I'm going to open that up. We'll go recent. New window. And recent. And kit app. And then we'll yarn start here. And fire up the app. Yeah, right now, you saw me switch branches there. Right now, every time I make a release of the app itself, it also tags the kit repo so that the app and because the app is like a wrapper around script kit more than an app. It's mostly just like a dialog that pops up that lets you like access those scripts. So to keep them in sync, like I'll do a build of the app and that triggers a tag on the main branch so that they can kind of test and work together and make sure that everything's synced up properly. Close all these. All right, let's make sure this is running. So let's create this script. Add to profile, something like that. And let's essentially, let me make sure that I'm gonna do this off screen real quick. I don't have anything private in my ZSHRC. All right, that looks fine. Yeah, essentially what I want it to look like is something like this. Like when the project used to be named Simple, adding something to your path was as easy as this. And I'm pretty sure this line works on any of the shells. I know you can do this easier in Z shell. I think you can just like write a path function. Did I do that anywhere else in here? I should probably surround that in quotes as well. So yeah, it's just gonna be a line like this, but instead of this line, let's actually add that here. So we'll just call this path line, I guess. And this is going to be home, and then kit, and then bin. And it's interesting, like there's the idea that someone here, if there's a name conflict, like the order is important here. So this is saying that you would want scripts named in here to take precedence over anything else that's on your path. Whereas if you do this, then anything that's already on your path takes precedence. So I'm going to leave it like this, where if it's already on your path, it's going to take precedence over something like edit you might have named somewhere else, so you might want to rename that one. Now there is a thing where, like if you try and create a new script, new script, and try and name it like git or something, it will do a validation check to see if there's anything it found on the path, and it'll do its best to prevent you from creating a command that already exists on your system. So there is that, but there's always that case where someone's going to have, like there's these dynamic paths, like NVM, and I think Yarn and some of them, where they use a function instead of something on the path, and I don't know. Anyway, so let's go ahead and append this line to the ZSHRC. And I was thinking that like the choices could be let's do ZSHRC, and I believe the bash RC. Let me check what I can do here. There's a function called test, and that's from the browser over here. So if I go to shell.js and you look at test, you can see that I can check if a file exists. And so I want to check to see if like all these RC files exist, and if they do exist, let you pick the one you want to add the line to, rather than, there's a script I used to have in here. I'll have to like go way back in history to find it. It's actually in the, I kind of borrowed it from the Yarn repo, does a similar thing. I wonder how far back I'd have to go. I removed it a long time ago. But it's... Let's check somewhere like here. Where's that browse at commit? Browse files, there it is. Used to call this, I think it was this one, detect profile, or link profile. This will be a good reference. And all right, so yeah, they check for, this is the way Yarn does it, and I trust that Yarn, a very popular project, did extensive research, and they have lots of people on the team who all, you know, who know what they're doing, or to understand all the different types of profiles people might have. So, like they do a similar thing here. Theirs is a lot of nested if else's, but essentially I want to check to see, and that's what they're doing here, checking to see if these files exist. And it looks like it does them. Let's see. I think it's just assigning detected profile to whichever one it shows. I guess it would be this one first. Let's see. Yeah, I guess they just do an order. They don't let you pick. So I'm going to borrow these. Let's do... should I do that? Let me check first. Before I do these, I'm going to use the test, and it's at -f flag, I believe, to see if a file is a regular file. And then a path. Let me make sure that So ZSHRC, and I know that I have this file, so if this, I think this gives me a standard out, which I can read from. And I'm going to run this from the terminal. So if I run in the kmter bin add to profile, it says undefined. Standard error. Undefined. Well, what's curious. No, it's just true. I thought it gave like a standard out and a standard error, but I guess it's just true or false. So let me make sure that this is working by putting like X. I know that file doesn't exist. Output false. Okay. So we'll just call this profile exists, something like that. And we'll have to we'll work that in. So there's the path line, there's the choices. I think I have home set. So I think I could do env home and then ZSHRC. I don't think it really matters too much because I am inheriting the environment variables. Actually, I mean, I can just write if these are all going to be in the home directory. I'm not sure. Let's see what. Looks like these are all in home. So we can just write the name of the file and then map those. So we can do ZSHRC and bash RC, bash profile, config fish, that's a long one. Let's do that in there. So bash RC, bash profile. And we're essentially going to loop through all of these and test to see if they exist, so you can pick which one you want. Bash RC, bash profile, ZSHRC, config fish, profile, bash RC, bash profile. Looks like those are the only ones. So let's do those. All right, and with these choices, we can map these so that the file, let's just call it a profile, is mapped to env home and then profile. And let's make sure that's coming out correctly. Oh, whoops. Add that in there. Okay, so that looks good. So let's filter based on that profile, because if the test function just returns true, then we can just test to see if this file is a file. So we'll just do that. And now this should only log out the ones I have. So I don't have the fish shell installed, but I do have these. So So yeah, that looks solid as far as like the profiles that are found. And then what we want to do is pass profiles as something the user can select. And I can say a selected profile would be an arg select your profile. And then the choices can be profiles. So now if I run this, you see I can like select from these. And that once I select it, the output is whichever one I selected. And that means that I can, there's the append file. And I think you just, it's the file name and then the content you want to append. So we'll do new line. It'll be very similar to this. So I'm going to grab that line. We'll say selected profile and then new line and then the path line right here. It's gonna be a better name for that. What do you think? Kit profile or kit path. And actually, this is going to be your KN. Well, actually, let's do because I have a utility for this called KN bin. Let me make sure that's before I append that kit path. Actually, this is the KN path. KN path. And the difference between the KN and the kit is like the kit is the thing that ships with it with all the libraries and helpers, and the KN is like your environment. It's kind of the idea is taken from like a virtual environment from Python where they set up environments based on like an SDK or a toolkit with a bunch of scripts in it. So most people just have a single one with all their scripts in it. But in the future, I want to support like setting up multiple environments where you could have multiple types of scripts that you'd want to use. But for 1.0, it's just going to be this singular .km. Like if you want to go hardcore on it, and like I know how to set up multiple ones already, but it's not like supported in an easy way. So let's run that KN path. Cannot access KN path. Oh, whoops. I named this to that. Let's log this as it's a weird thing to name. Path, we'll call it export KN path. I don't know. Export KN path. That sounds good. And we'll go here, select one, and path. Okay, that looks good. Alrighty, so because that's set up, now we can append that new line. Export KN path. And let's go ahead and edit the selected profile just so we can make sure that it shows up. I don't know if I do this for the user. Maybe they just want to verify that it worked. But like after it's appended, then we'll just open the file in your selected editor. So if I run this now, add to profile, I'm going to select ZSHRC, and then it opened the file, and then that line is added to the bottom. And what that means that in my terminal, Let's see which scripts I have installed. I add and remove a bunch of scripts all the time. Let's look at anime search. Hey, how's it going? Actually, let's create like a hello world script. Hello world, and just console log hello world. And from there, so right now, hello world, if I try and run that, it says command not found because you have to source your ZSHRC again. But from here on out, hello world should be available. So anytime I make a change to this script, hello again, and I run that again, you can see hello again. And now I can start adding things like arg name, and hello name, something like that. And I can say hello world, John, and hello John, and all that. All right, so I think this, I'll rename this, rename, I want to rename add to profile. Oh, this one's not listing the scripts. I need to, looks like I need to fix that. After the new script name, add kn to profile. So I deleted this script and now it's over here. Okay. Alrighty, so if I'm going to move this over into in the kit, so everyone can have this. This will exist in the CLI, and then in the kit, something I need to take a look at is like a good way of creating these little script bundles. Like right now, this one does it this way, where you name it, and you pass in aliases and stuff. But I'm not too happy with this. Hello. But it works for now. So we'll call this one name, and this is just the name of the script. Add kn to profile. Whoops. That script closed for some reason. Profile, and then the message can be whoops. Add your add kn to your path. Add kn bin to your path. Something like that. And this means that once I open this, like this kit menu, which is shown underneath it, if you look for add kn to profile, I could run this script, and you'll see it says selector profile. It looks like that didn't. Let's see. Am I not getting the kn path there? Why did that not show up there? Add kn to profile. It's not showing me the list of choices. And is that erroring out? Let's see. I know this is going to be something really dumb that I'm just not seeing right now. Let's see, the CLI. I wonder if the CLI has the canned path. Well, no, because I wonder if it's the home environment. Since this is running from the app now, the app might not have the home. I'm gonna try this. Let's see. Okay. So it looks like, actually that'll be something I can add to the app. That'd be a good add. Where is? KN, the kit app, there it is. When I run a script from here, you can see the environment variables that get passed are these ones. So like when a script runs, it says fork this script. So it's like resolving the path to the script using the node version that's we bundled in the script. And it's preloading all of those files. Like it's essentially a mirror of, if you look in these, it's essentially this, but written in JavaScript. And looks like we don't, like when we do our environment, we're not passing the home variable. I wonder if, I wonder if I can just spread process and there's a few things I want to make sure I pass, but it looks like that should be fine. So process end, I would assume has home on it. So let's fire that up again. And since this comes first, like everything else here should be able to override any of the environment variables that came in. All right. One of my to-dos is to speed up the build time of the dev app. It's one of those things I used like a starter Electron bundle or repo, and I just haven't taken the time to optimize it. So let's see if we have, let's go over here and I'll just undo this. Let's see if we have the home environment on there now. Add, okay, so home's on there now because we added all the environment variables from the process to be passed into the script. So that looks good. Let's go ahead and make sure that works from there. So if I open my ZSHRC, I'll delete this line. And then this is a weird, I wonder where that came from. Simple node modules tab. Where did tab come from? Electron Forge? Anyway, so if I run add to profile, and I'll select ZSHRC, you can see that it added this line. So now everything's on the path. And I can go ahead and let users add things to the path, or add their bin directory to the path with just a couple clicks, rather than having to write this out by hand. And that should work. Let's just test that the scripts work again. Hello world, John. That's great. I don't think I'll worry too much about, because if you run it again, like it'll add it there again. which isn't really a big deal. Like it'll still just work fine. And since it'll open this file and you'd see that it added another one, you could just delete it. So I was thinking about like checking to see if it was already there, but I think if you're adding something to the path, you'd like be aware of what's going on. Or at least I could help someone in a comment or a discussion or whatever and help them figure it out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and check that in. It's kind of a weird name for this, but that works for now. Add cam to profile. Maybe let's name it profile. Because it's too long for the message there. I can add descriptions, but I don't have it set up so I can add descriptions in here. Maybe I can do that while I'm here. So name, description. Let's go back to here. So description can be if, let's just structure this as well. And it should be fine if that's just null there. So add cam to profile. Oh, this is actually, I forgot that this script, CLI scripts, is reading from the metadata in the scripts. So I don't need to do that. I can actually this is like a to-do for me, is to clean up some of this stuff, because I think people want to make their own like bundles of scripts. I'm thinking that if like you invoke a keyboard shortcut, it'd show you all of your like GitHub scripts or all of your Slack scripts or all of your whatever scripts, rather than having to try and filter through all of them. So description, let's go to add to profile in here. Description adds the kn vendor to your path. Maybe that's not reading that in. Ask what software. I'm just using OBS, just like everyone else in the world uses. It's anyone who streams uses OBS. Well, like 99% of people do. So, let's see. That's CLI script. Yeah, just Google OBS or Streamlabs OBS. All of that is, it's what everyone uses. Okay, yeah, so I need a description back in. You're very welcome. Clear the cache. Maybe that's... All right. CLI scripts. Oh, wait, that's... Okay, that's there. VS Code is great on the Mac. I really enjoy it. Can into your path variable. Oh yeah, this is caching this. There it is. Okay, now the description's showing up. This is kind of a more advanced case where there's a few scripts I want to cache, like this CLI one. I don't expect anyone else to modify this. So like when it's cached, it opens just instantly. So keyboard shortcut and it just pops up and everything's stored in this cache over here, this kit cache. You can see that's the right click. It's called right click because if you right click on the menu, this shows up. I'm just running it from a keyboard shortcut. And you can see here's the cache version of that script. So what was happening was whoops. This was cached before and this wasn't showing up. So once I cleared the cache, which is just a command in here, then that showed up. Yeah. I think that's fine. Add cam to profile. I guess I don't really need that message if the description's in there. This is one of those things where, because you can type to filter, I wanted the message to be like you can filter on the messages, but if you put in the description, it doesn't filter on descriptions. So I was concatenating these like here, but I could move all of us down into descriptions. Might look a bit cleaner. This one just kind of looks out of place right now to me, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. I'm actually curious if what those would look like if I just changed, change all of these. Well, no, let's not change all of those. Let's do description is the message, and then and I can remove yeah, I'll just remove that. That should be fine. Clear the cache. Whoops, unexpected token. What did I change here? Clear the cache. Unexpected token. Maybe I typed something in there without realizing it. Okay, and description, message. Now if I run this, yeah, I think that looks better. I think the only issue with this is if you run this from the command line. So right now if I run kit, it shows this, and it's not showing the messages. So I have the kit context. Let me see. Hi, McKinley. Imagine seeing you online. So let's see. Kit context. I have this. And I wonder where all this is used. Because I can use this to like decide whether it's coming from the app or whether it's coming from the terminal. And I don't think I'm using this anywhere other than right there. So I have get context. Didn't really want to use this anywhere but here, but we'll see how this works. All right, I'm gonna break it apart and say if and kit context is app, then do this. Otherwise, we want to do what it did previously, where it appends the message to here. That way, if I run this from here, it shows those descriptions underneath. And if I run it from the terminal, it'll show the messages next to it. So that should work pretty well. I think we're going to remove that semicolon. Let's see. That looks pretty clean. And now this one is that. Okay. I think that'll work. Let's get in some water. All right. Let's just double check that script again. Make sure that's adding correctly. Page down. I'm actually curious if I can read how many lines are in a file. Node read how many lines in a file. Because if I could do this when I invoke edit, I can have it jump to the end of the file rather than scrolling down. Like I like to make things, I like to surprise the people using ScriptKit with like these little things of jumping to the exact line or the exact place or opening the file. And like those things are always nice, those little surprises. Let's see. Word count. I've never used word count. Let's see. WC. Oh, it's ESHRC. That's all. Interesting. WC help man WC. The number of lines each is written to the standard output. So L. Okay. WC L, and then sometimes I just want it to give just that number, else I have to parse it out. Word line character and byte count. Alrighty. Just let's try that. Exec this. And so this will be WC selected profile. And then I'm not going to use the callback form. I'm going to use the standard out. And let's console log that. Standard out. It's going to be some sort of, I'm going to guess right now that I'll have to, I don't think I'll have to toString, but we'll split on spaces and then grab the first one, because in the terminal it showed, whoops, it showed 122 here. And actually let's trim in case there's any extra in there. And if we try running that, so we'll say kit add profile here. Okay, so it logged out 123. I'm going to say silent true, because if you don't say silent true, then then it logs out all of that. So add profile. You know, 124. You can see it. The line count is going up. All right. So now, line count. And now, if you edit, if you're using VS Code, you can pass in, excuse me, the specific file, the specific directory, and then the line in the column. So I can do line count. And now if I run this, I believe, let's do the add profile here. Now when I run this, it should jump me to the bottom of the file. Okay, so before you noticed like it was opening all the way up here, but that time it jumped me to the very end of the file. And it looks like it's doing kind of an off by one. It must be a 0 count. But that's fine, it's the end of the file. So just want to test that one more time. Add to profile here. Okay, and that jumped to 122. That's fine, that's kind of close enough, right? Yeah. I don't think VS Code has a way of just doing to the end of the file. I'm actually kind of curious if I do this and put in like math, isn't there like infinity or something? JS math infinity, or math max or something. Oh, it's just a, we'll just put in like a big number. I would assume this would jump us to the end of the file. Yeah. Unless you have a 100,000 line ZSHRC, but then you might have more problems then. Let's edit, no. Alrighty. So this looks good enough. Let's go ahead and add this to the CLI. And We don't need that description, just the message. And that looks good. Adding add cam to profile. And I do work in the main branch and just commit to the main branch because this isn't the app. The app is the one that tags these. Oh, does that want me to? Oh, I don't have a script in there to open the kit directory. Interesting. I'm going to add that in too. So let's do so that's easy enough. And then where's open? Like duplicating that's easy enough. I can call this kit, call this kit path, and then clear the cache, and then I have open kit. Okay. That was a quick script. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and add that as well. Add this. Go ahead and push that. So, and for that to work with the app, like right now, if you were to download the app, it wouldn't clone this repo from main. It would grab the previous tag, like the tag repo. So I'm actually going to make a build of the app as well, where there's the app, where it has this line. So this kind of has a more rigorous build CI. Hey Horatio, good to see you. Let me know if you have any questions or anything I can help with script kit. Let's use commit as in and adding process and bars to scripts, something like that. Let's make sure we pull. All right, and so what this is doing now, let me see here. I guess this is public, so it doesn't matter. If you go to the Kit app, you can see under the actions, it's building out the app based on that push I just did, and doing a semantic release. It should check on that the process end line I added and do a add a dot release, and then once it does that, it'll go through and tag the kit. Oh, cool! Glad you saw the video. I'm gonna say Geeky Srum. I don't know how else to say her name. Sorry. All right. So once this is done, there should be a new build of the app available with a tagged version of the kit repo, which is it's kind of cool to see how. At least I think it's cool, but I'm a big nerd. Over here in the, whoops, didn't want to do Zen mode, I want to do this. In the workflow, the publish workflow, you can see tag kit uses itself, like it uses kit to create the tag. So there's like a whole dog fooding thing, like if kit can't tag itself, then obviously it's not working. So like the build would fail if kit doesn't work. So it's not really a test, but it's two duplicate scripts for both browsers. I'm not sure what you're referring to. All right, so that'll be done here pretty soon. The other thing I want to do on stream, I have a meeting in 1 hour, and I'm going to chat with Joe Previtt about simple scripts to help him work through a workflow that he wants to make. And I want to make sure that the I've made a lot of changes since I haven't checked on these scripts in a while. But hello, the way these scripts work, like if I want to do an anime search, I can click on that. Oh, I already have anime search installed, so it's asking me for a different name. Another anime search. And you can see it grabbed the content of that script and pulled it down into my project. So now I have another, what is the theme used for VS Code? I don't know, what is my theme called? GitHub Dark, I guess. I hadn't looked at that in forever. Let's see, another... Why isn't that showing up? Oh, that's why. There should be 2 search animes in here. That's what happened. So I guess I already had that one installed. So I'm going to go ahead and remove another. Would you like to delete this? Yes, because I already have this one. Yeah, you're welcome. So right now this oh, interesting. That should have... Oh, that's not clearing the cache when I delete a script. Interesting. Caching's tough. Have you ever had to deal with caching? Like it didn't delete this. And so in here, nope, not this one. In here, it's in the shortcuts. Cache clear. Oh, you haven't seen much? Cool. Happy to like hop on anytime and over Zoom and just kind of hang out and walk you through any questions. I think for me, like helping people like is just having a ton of examples people can pull from and kind of piece together, you know, something from one script and something from another script. That's just kind of how like scripts work. Is you usually Google something and you find the thing you want to do and then you just copy and paste it in, and then you find another thing you want to do, copy and paste that in, and that's kind of like the workflow I want to support because that's what people actually do. But yeah, this should let's get Clash here. I guess I have to do... Does Chokodar have a... Is unlink... Unlink must be their delete, and I guess I'm just not doing... I'm going to move this one up to... here. It's kind of like a aggressive uncaching. Like it's a very light caching so that like if you really want to cache something, it'll do it. But then anytime you change a file or do anything, it's going to clear the cache because the scripts can like load other scripts, and you never know if unloading one script would change the cache of another script. So I don't expect people to, be changing scripts all the time. So this won't happen very often unless you're like kind of deep in creating scripts and such. So anyway, that should fix what happened here where this is still in the cache. So now when I fire this up, search an anime like Naruto. I think that I was working on a helper method. Like right now this is just a markdown file. I think you can, is this the preview markdown? So it'd show that I've been working on, do I have show image as a helper? I think this is good enough now that I'd rather do this. So this will pop open a little window where you can like do these searches for whatever images or whatever. This is just doing an anime search. Anyone have a favorite anime? Let's see, Naruto. What's that 100 show called? We'll do One Punch Man. So there's an image of that. So you could just kind of like I think I can pass in the title as an option. So that's not named Kit. We'll see what happens. Oh, whoops. And yeah, whatever. Okay, yeah, so that added that as the title. And right now it does a thing where it like detects the size of the image and makes the window the size of the image that's loading. So I probably need to make a maximum width and height in case you load like a 4K image or something. And maybe make the images resize based on the window. Hitting escape dismisses those, but yeah, there's so many things to do. I need to make a roadmap, and like that's something someone else could help me with as a PR, like image width and height matching as you resize the browser. Like someone else could do that, and yeah, maybe that might be a good like request for PR or something. But I do like this rather than just that markdown. It's a much cooler use case. So I'm going to let's open the I think I renamed it recently. Code projects. Oops. Script kit. And so that's this one. So just copy and paste that. And the way that the website works is it's just the scripts just live over in here in this public directory, so that the website reads through the public directory and creates all the containers with those little install buttons on them. So updating the anime search or whatever. Can't push for us. Oh yeah, I think I updated a different script through the browser. Alrighty, okay, so anime search is working. Oh, app launcher, I haven't run this one in forever. I'm scared of this one. Let's see what happens. This is one of those that it works, but it could definitely like use a bunch of love as far as the speed is concerned. But we'll try app launcher Okay, file search isn't defined. File search now lives on, is it Finder? Let me see, file search. On file. So this is here. All right, any other helper methods? This was a weird thing to put together, like sorting apps by, I tried to do it by like their importance. The main applications that are in your applications folder or the utilities folder, and your pref panes, and then other ones, and then your system apps and user app. Like that was a fun kind of challenge to walk through. So here's all the apps on my system, and I can search for whatever. Let's try launching pages. Okay, so this script is working. And this is definitely one where I'd want to cache the results, because if I run this, and you see how it's doing that search every time? See how slow that is? So that's pretty slow between, and for like an app launcher, that's something you want to be instant. So the choices here gets run down here, and if I add true, because choices is a function, this should cache the results now, and it won't run this function. Saying true is essentially saying run that function and cache those values so that the next time you run this script, those values are stored in that cache file. So now if I run app once, it should build that into a cache so that if I run this again, you see how much faster that was? Like if I think it's bound to Alt-A. Oh, and the cache also works in a way where this script was run initially from the main menu, and so it cached it according to that, because that could change the behavior of it. And hitting Alt-A ran it from just itself. So I had to run it one time, and then the second time, this should be cached and should be much faster than that initial one. There are a lot of results in here. I could probably get rid of some of them, but I don't know, like maybe somebody has an app in their system library they want to run. Like this is one of those things where I could probably ditch these and not search for those. So this will definitely need some love as far as if anyone wants to use the script kit as an app launcher. But like for now, I mean, it works. You can search for whatever and launch whatever. There's pages, there's Ableton, there's batch converters, Visual Studio Code, QuickTime, all that stuff. All right, so that's fixed. So let's move that over to let's move this over to app launcher. And all right, fixing app launcher. Sometimes I feel guilty like making such a minor change to trigger a rebuild on a site. Like it seems, I don't know, seems like a unnecessary use of processing power. Like I want to push, but it's marked build on every single push. Yeah, anywho. All right, so that worked. Let's keep on going. Book search. So book search is installed now. Let's search for Star Wars. All right, so that script looks solid. So it's just making a GET request to open library. And then I'm taking the title and the author name and just creating some markdown. And then inspect is a way of saying, inspect generates a file based on the data you pass in, file type. This is a way of, if you look in your temp directory, you can see some of these files that were created. So you can build up a history of things you've inspected, which I really like because sometimes you can lose those, and these aren't appending the script name to these anymore. Let me check on inspect. So it's doing the date. File path, get script name. I think I'd want this to be script name. This is one of those things. There's a method called run. Oh, kit script. That's the one. I want to use that instead of the kit script name. And that should put, let me check that again. Book search, Star Wars. Okay, so now it's putting that, that's correctly. So I ran the book search script, and then it created this file inside of there. I wonder if I should put like the argument names in the file name instead of just the date. Anyway, this is good for now, but you'll see in here the, before it was all app left click, but now like it'll organize them by the script that was run. So that's cool. Let's add that in Git app. Adding Git script name to inspect. Alrighty. All right, other than that, we know that book search works. This can be Star Trek or anything, obviously, that has a book on it. So I don't need to fix anything here for book search. Center app, I think I have this one installed already. Yeah, I think this app is already centered. So let's move this over here and resize it. Okay, so that's good. Chrome tab Twitter. Let's try. Oh yeah, I definitely have to fix this one. Because this process has changed, or this is extracted into a library. And I believe this is now Kit Chrome. I think it's called Focus Tab, if I'm not mistaken. Focus Tab. Yeah. And Focus Tab. Twitter, is that gonna append? I think that'll work. Thanks, yeah. I think inspect is, I was having trouble thinking of people will get data results that they want to look at, and I was trying all these variations of opening browser windows and showing data results, but I'm like, wait a second, people, like, we're developers, we have a code editor, why don't I just let them format the data and put it into a file? And that feels way better than what it was before. So let's try Chrome tab. It wants to control Chrome. You'll get these security messages. So let's try that again. Alrighty. Oh, sorry. I have another browser window over here. Let me show that in action. I think this is working. So if I do Chrome tab right now, this should focus back to Twitter. And actually, this one was asking for a URL. Okay, so this script, so it'd say await arg, enter URL, and this would be URL. Then we pass that into focus tab. So now I can do Chrome tab, Twitter, and that would focus back to Twitter. I believe if Twitter's closed, then if I do Chrome tab, I type in Twitter, it'll open. Oh, it looks like, should I append? I probably should append if it doesn't have, I am asking for a URL though. Whoops. Oh. Is that removing the... It's removing the colon. Oh. I need to close these ones because it's finding these poorly formatted ones. Okay, so that worked. I had some ones that were open that that were poorly formatted, so it kept focusing back to those. So Chrome tab, you can't just type Reddit, you have to be like reddit.com. So that works. Alrighty. I guess I could do like a, if the URL doesn't, well, I'd let someone implement that in their own script. Like, you'd have to do some logic to parse out the end of the URL, whether it's .com or .app or .org or whatever. And then if it didn't like default to .com, I don't want to do that though. So here, this will be, that'll work. That's solid. This is interesting how it, like it activates Chrome, so it brings all of the windows in front. It's one of those, like, I thought so much about multi-monitors and windows on different screens and which activating apps and which pulling windows to the front and behind and all that, and I think I broke my brain thinking about all that a couple weeks ago. But this is fine. I'm not going to worry about only pulling one window to the front and keeping one behind code or whatever. So we'll grab this and put this over into this one is Chrome tab, and this can be fixing Chrome tab and push. And that other one is, this one's cool because the Chrome tab Twitter, because it shows how to, this is going to be run actually now. It shows how to run a script and pass an argument to it from another script. So if I run Chrome tab Twitter, let me show it working. So this was bound to Alt-T, so I'm just going to hit Alt-T, and you'll see that pop up. So if you use this syntax where you say await run, and you can enter a script name, and then pass in the argument that's missing. If you don't pass in the argument, then I'll hit Alt-T, and it'll prompt me for the URL just like it did before, because it's just running another script. But this allows you to essentially write like a base or abstract script or whatever, and then pass arguments into it. So hitting Alt-T, like if you want to have some sort of script that you run with a bunch of different arguments, like that's essentially how you do it. And this like requires a Chrome tab script to be installed. Like there's no way for me to say, I don't want to like do like unique IDs for script or something, so that if you try and run it and it doesn't exist, then go download and install it. One of the like community aspects of ScriptKit is that I want people to keep going back to scriptkit.app and finding and sharing scripts. So anything I can do to like bring them back to the site so that they're interacting with all the scripts that everyone's written, I think that'll help like build the community around it. So, so that'll be cool. Let me commit this one. That's fixed. This is Chrome tab Twitter. And I think it's wild that like you can literally click a button here, and then once you hit Alt-T, then like you have a new functionality on your system. That's one of the like things that brings me joy from this whole thing is like, click one button, now I have a new shortcut because someone defined a shortcut in here that adds new functionality to my system. Fixing Chrome tab Twitter. Okay, go. Oh, whoops. Why are there no changes? Not a Git repository. Oh, whoops. I'm not in the right project. That's why. It's this one. Alrighty, so let's keep on going. Color convert. Oh, that'll be interesting. I wonder if that still works. So we'll try and run color convert colors, enter color. We'll try typing blue. Yeah, so this one's broken. And I think it's this info thing. Let me ditch that for a second. Actually, let me look at the console log for that. Cannot read property hex of undefined. I think it's this as well. And color convert blue. Okay. me try bringing info back. I don't think that's info anymore. I know I was working on like icon or something. But icon might need to be an image. That's over here. So many projects, so little time. Is icon in here? So icon's an image. Data info. Let's info and class name info. All right, so choice description, choice selected, choice icon. I wonder if I can add this back as like what would be a good name for like displaying just a tiny piece of HTML. Raw HTML, I guess just HTML seems Let's just try it, see how I like it. So this can be HTML, and this can be whatever that render. What's that? Render dangerously. Don't I have that? Dangerously render? No. Render. And this is like passing an object that has like HTML on it, and this is choice HTML. Empty components are self-closing. Sure. Go ahead and close that for me. Disable React no danger. Haha. I'm curious what this will look like. Because essentially I just want to render a color. But I don't know what other use cases this would have. Oh, I probably want to do this as well. This same class name. Oops. Wait for that to build. Let's see, got 20 minutes till my meeting. So that's named HTML. It's gonna be a tiny little rectangle. All right, color convert blue. Was that not? This is always one of the least fun parts of trying to build this thing is this prompt. I want it to be very easy to dismiss. Like if you click outside, it dismisses. If you hit escape, it dismisses. All this sort of stuff. If it loses focus, it dismisses. So I've been working on ways of like trying to open the dev tools, but that dismisses the prompt. So I thought I put in a guard around that. Prompt dev tools. Where's the hide? Let's see. Electron check if dev tools are open. I think it's like if prompt window dev it's content something, web contents, dev tools, toggle dev tools, open dev tools. Is dev tools open? Oh, there you go. Is dev tools focused? Interesting. Let's try that one. And just have that be as like a guard from it closing. Alrighty, wait till bundle finished. And done. Alright, so let's try opening this. Open the dev tools. Oh. But if I click outside? Oh well. Let's see here. So we want to convert colors blue, and like that. And the challenge will always be that, let's see. Oh, I didn't even want to clear the prompt. Dang it. Because that's clearing the prompt removes the things that I want to inspect. And I want to inspect those things, so. We'll try and guard against this. Is this a method? It is a method. I had a suspicion. Yeah, no linter is going to save you from your own stupidity in those sorts of situations. I'm pretty good at guessing, but still have to use common sense, unfortunately. All right, compiled successfully. Color convert, enter blue, open DevTools, and input. I don't want to click on any of those because it'll select them, so I'm going to try and dig down into it. Here. Simple bar. Wow, that's quite the... Okay. So inside of the button, you have a div class, which is that. You have this. And oh, is that still splitting those characters? Interesting. I need to take a mental note of that. This has to do with, like, you see how blue is highlighted by the highlight color? I like need to disable, this is a type of search where the results are based on the input versus a type of search where, like, you already have results and you're filtering on the search. So blue is creating the results, whereas it's usually filtering the results, like the default case. So right now I should remove this isn't a search, so it shouldn't have like the highlight and filter. So I should remove that when it's creating the results instead of filtering them. And I'll need to look into, I'll look into that in just a second. I just want to see if the, okay, so I didn't even get that HTML off of the choice. So that must not exist. But I'm going to remove that. I'm trying to remove that search. Let's see, setting escape can work. Okay, it does. All right, so this is such a fun file. This is one of those files that's grown and grown, and I haven't taken the time to make it look much better. Looking at my own code that I haven't touched in a while, and I want to find scrolling logic. Data from. Okay. Show prompt with data. I believe that's the value we're looking for. Show prompt with data. This is the logic. One of the more challenging things was, like, you open the prompt and then you want to type and create choices. So, you know, the prompt already exists and it's sending new data each time you, or it debounces it a bit, but each time you keystroke. So message preview choices. The choices should be there because the HTML will be on that choice. But the current thing I was looking at was on here. And then the search. This is all the search stuff. Let's see. This was, again, like a fun challenge of trying to prioritize which results come to the top based on regex, like the best match and a good match and a weak match and all that sort of stuff. I think I can just skip this though. So input value will change. This will change. And this is the filter. All right, so now if I do, oh, it's running so slow when you have the DevTools open. Oh, I think that's just not working. Okay, so it's not this. I guess I can do if that, then set choices filtered. So exact matches. It's partitioning. I think it's just data choices. Seems weird. No, because if I just set that, that'll just continuously loop on that. I'm going to think through this one offline. Because I'm like 70% sure that that'd be the right thing to check, is if it's wherever that was, the show prompt with data. That's the only place that shows up. Update prompt choices. Maybe it's that one. No. Yes, no. That's one of those weird things to name. Like, I've thought about, I guess it is creating versus filtering. Like when you type the characters and it creates the results versus the results already existing and you're filtering the results. So, so this is working. But it's still on this one, trying to highlight this. So the highlighting is done. I don't know how to ignore this error. which is not an error, but where is that highlighting? It's right here. Name includes input. Choice name slice. 0 index of input. This is just some logic I haven't looked at in a while. So if the choice name includes the input, then return an array where this is the text before the match, and in between it should surround it with some styling and the text after the match. But if it doesn't include the input, then it's splitting and oh yeah, doing it like a one at a time check. Against accumulator. So what was that scenario? So if the text didn't include the input, then it's splitting the name into an array, and it's highlighting based on, like it's rebuilding the string. You can see it's doing that. Oh yeah, so like if it had, because it does regex matching, and you type in the word like blue, then it would highlight the word blue, but if it's like BL and then space, 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 UE, like that's the second scenario. So this is like the regex highlighting. And this is the exact match highlighting. So I'm gonna have to do like a no highlighting in here. So I'll check to see data from equals this, then it's just name, or the name includes the input. I think that reads fine. I'm not worried about nested ternaries on this. All right, so this is saying skip highlighting if it's creating the choices. Skip highlighting if creating choices. Alrighty. So highlighting still works there. If I run convert colors and type in blue, it's still doing it. All right, I need to hop off and get to a meeting, but that's made some good progress there. I didn't quite make it through all the scripts, so I'll continue to work on that tomorrow. And I want to fix this highlighting thing so it's not highlight, like that just seems weird that that B is highlighted right there. So I'll find a way to skip highlighting. I wonder if that's because that's the first typed character. Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that. Okay, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch everyone